Ayo, Ashleigh Monet here. I get to be part of a super fun little limited series right here on YouTube. Myself and a few of my friends are all challenging each other to give Moriah Elizabeth Mystery Plushies a makeover. Now my love creative Paula started off this chain and then passed the torch to Di of Aussie Crafter. We have a little playlist going that I will link below, but now it is my turn. So the first step was to get my Moriah Elizabeth plushies. Now the consensus among the group was we were going to get the mini plushies and likely grab 2 or 3, and then from there we could decide which one we wanted to make over. Now I remember going to the store and praying that they had either Series 1 or the Color Splash. I didn't want the dessert theme or any of the holiday themes because I felt like it would be really hard to modify something that was already themed. But of course, my local Walmart had minimal Moriah selection, and when it came to the mini plushes, they only had the dessert and Valentine themed series. And those were about $10 each, so 2 would cost me $20, or for $20, I could get one massive plushie with no theme.
But everybody else is gonna do the minis.
But I really don't want a theme.
But I can do more than one makeover this way.
But this one's so big and fun.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm not gonna second guess it. I will make this work. So here it is, and the package is so big it doesn't even fully fit in my camera setup. Yeah, I really thought that through. But here are all the characters that I could possibly get. They're all couples: Pickle and Pickled Pink, PB and Jelly, Alfred and Marlowe, and Lime and Lemon. Let's find out. Dun, da, da, da. It's Marlowe. Ooh, she is so soft. And I was stressing because right after opening her, Phoebe automatically became very attached. Like, uh-oh, girl, don't fall in love. I'm about to ruin this bear. Okay, so we have big ol' Marlowe here. I'm excited to make her over, but I don't get to just do whatever I want to this little girl. You see, Di gets to give me a challenge that I have to meet in order to make over Miss Marlowe. So let's see what she's asking me to do.
Hey there, Miss Ashleigh Monet. I've got a challenge for you. This damn hood won't stay up. Come on. He doesn't want to. Oh, crap on a stick. It can stay down. I want you to give your Moriah Elizabeth plushie a makeover using our shared interest, and that is the Wizarding World. So channel your little inner witch or wizard, cast a spell on your plushies, or make them drink a magical potion, turn them into something you would find in the Wizarding World. But I also have a second part to this challenge, and this one, it's an art supply I hate to use because it's so damn messy, but I really actually love the look of it, and that is glitter or sparkles. You've got to give your plushies a glittery or sparkly element. So good luck. I can't wait to see what you create.
I'm not gonna lie, I am super excited about this challenge. Di and I are a couple of little Potterheads, so I love the idea of doing something mystical, something Wizarding World. And I feel like sparkle glitter just kind of fits into that, although I am probably gonna make a mess. Now, I do feel like we need to address the Harry Potter elephant in the room because Harry Potter is very triggering for a lot of people. Those of you who have been here for a while absolutely already know where I stand on this. But there are some new faces out there, and I bet some of you have not seen some of the videos where I have addressed this in the past. So to summarize, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, is very openly transphobic and has made transphobic posts on social media for years now. I absolutely do not agree with her views. I 100% support the trans community. My husband is trans and also enjoys Harry Potter. And if I'm perfectly honest, I would rather have a trans person in the bathroom stall next to me than somebody like J.K. Rowling. Now, a lot of people draw a really hard line in the sand and believe that to like Harry Potter is to support J.K. Rowling. My opinion on it is a bit more complex. I believe 2 things can be true at once. For instance, it is true that Harry Potter was written by a person who is clearly a bigot. It is also true that Harry Potter is a story that clearly speaks out against bigotry. I don't know if she realizes that she would be a villain in her own series. I don't know, but I think it's fair that I can watch my old DVDs, I could read my old books, and that in no way supports J.K. Rowling today. Now, I do draw a line at watching like the readaptation that they're working on, visiting her theme parks, buying her merch, because I refuse to put money in her pocket. Let me just say that this world that we live in can sometimes be a really ugly place. because of people like her. I believe it's important to find joy where you can. And if somebody's joy does come from this little nerdy, magical, wizarding world, like, just let it be. I will say I am perplexed on how this little lady's gonna fit into that plan. I'm gonna have to brainstorm. I don't know what to do with you, Marlo. Okay, I think I have an idea for what I want to do, but it's definitely radical. And I'm going to have to cross my fingers and hope that it works. I'm not going to say what it is yet. I want to complete the first step and see how that goes before I commit to it. And if the first step is a disaster, I can always then pivot and figure out another idea. We're not going to need these little weird beanie puffs that she's got. So let me just snip them away. And here's where things are getting serious. I'm going to flip her over and pop open her back seam a little because we are going to remove all of that stuffing. Shudder. I know. I told you it was radical. But here's the thing. The plan I have involves sweet little Marlo no longer being white. No more white for you, little miss. Instead, we're going to make her brown. Yes, I plan to dye her. Since she is a synthetic material, not like cotton, I have to use a special dye and basically boil her for like an hour. And if I leave her stuffed, it's just extra material that's going to soak up all that color, and it probably won't react well to the heat. So yeah, we're going to remove all that stuffing. And now here she is, just an empty sack of bear flesh. She is ready to die. Boy, oh boy. First off, you have to mix up the dye, which is the whole thing. But then you basically keep it just under boiling temp. Throw her in and stirring constantly. Like I said, it's about an hour of just cooking her. The color is looking good and tan, and I actually threw in some fleece just so that I would have some extra fabric in the same color because you never know. Just soaking away. This was so boring and time consuming. But an hour later, it finally came time to rinse, and not gonna lie, I started worrying about the color. It wasn't exactly my vision, but we trust the process, and the last step is to run it through the washing machine. Here is the final product, and why is she yellow? Like frickin' Winnie the Pooh yellow, not tan. If anything, the purple bits turned the right color, this kind of brown, but this is just not gonna do, and I can't lie, I'm kind of having a meltdown. Okay, I've reflected, I've calmed, I have confirmed that this color will not do, and I've secured yet another dye. This one is chocolate brown, which is darker than I wanted to go. I was aiming for this color that the darker purple stripes ended up turning. That was the goal, but now I need something that will cover all of this up. So we'll see if it works out. I am going to spare you guys the hour-long process this time, so here she is. Yay! She is dark, but I'm so much happier with that color than the last. So since the dyeing worked out, eventually, I can tell you my plan. I'm going to be turning Marlo into a mandrake. These fun little baby plant root-like creatures. When they're uprooted, they have a harsh cry that can be fatal, but they are used in antidotes, primarily to return those who have been transfigured, cursed, or petrified back to their original state. Alright, we need to work on getting her stuffed again, but since her limbs are going to be turned into roots, we don't need any stuffing there, so I'm using some fabric hot glue, and I'm sealing them shut. And then we begin stuffing. Now, I'm not going to get too carried away with it though, because I still want to modify the fabric of her face, and I need her head still slightly deflated to do that. Now, since mandrakes are always crying, I want to make her look like she is. This cute little bear face just needs to disappear. And I'm thinking maybe I can glue this to look kind of like a frown. And let me try to add some squinty, crying eyes too. Okay, now I can finish the stuffing. And stitch up the back again. And now, oh no, she looks like Snorlax. Oh, that is not the vibe, and I have no idea how to fix this. Okay, I regrouped and came back with an idea that might maybe possibly work. This is that blanket fleece fabric that I dyed alongside Marlowe. See, I knew it would come in handy, but I cut it up into a bunch of these strips, then glued the strips in half to make sort of a puffy, furry trim. I figured I could use that trim to add contours and wrinkles and to really make it look like Mandrake Marlowe has a crying face. Ignore this terrifying face. I was just trying to draw some guidelines, but she looks more like Voldemort right now. I don't know what I think of this, but I'm gonna move on for now. First off, the ears are gonna go. I was holding on to them because I was on the fence about whether to make her a full Mandrake or still have her be like a merge between Mandrake and Bear. But we're committing. We're going full Mandrake. And I'm just gonna take a few scraps of that fleece and glue them randomly all over. This is going to hide some of the seams and cut bits, but also I'm thinking it kind of gives a covered in soil texture in some spots. Alrighty, now for the roots on the arms and legs. I opted to go with a whole slew of pipe cleaners. They were the right color and they could be bent into the right shape, kind of like this. So I would just twist a few pipe cleaners together, cut them to the right length, and then glue the leg fabric all around them, like so. And then I repeated for all of the extremities. Now voila, she has roots. But now we need to move on to the head because she'll have roots there, but they're going to be the big, thick ones that you can grab to pull her out of her pot. To attach these ones, I had to rip a few holes in her scalp and then glued the super thick roots. Like some of these were about 7 pipe cleaners wound together. Like they were thick, but I would glue them right into the holes. Then I kind of sealed all of it with an extra coat of glue. I knew I would paint over it later, but yeah, she has roots. Okay, so I've been sitting on this project for a bit. I've been looking at her face day after day, and I don't know. I really don't like it. It's not giving Mandrake. She doesn't look like she's crying. She looks mad, like a mad old man. I'm having bad thoughts of scrapping the project, but I'm not quite ready to give up yet. I'm going to move forward with painting the face and see if I can make it look more how I want. Also, I need to use my paint to cover all of this glue and bring a bit onto those pipe cleaners so it's like her body naturally transitions to her root color. I mostly use brown, but I did add little spots of black in there too, so it's like little dirt spots all over. She is soily and messy. And then using puffy black fabric paint, made some more of those little soil spots, but I hope these ones would be a little bit more 3D, kind of textured, and fix these crying eyes. All right, I'm shook because I actually kind of like the face now. Like, I think it'll work. But while all that dries, I need to make her leaves. So the original plan was to make them out of felt, but as it turned out, I have this like army green hoodie that I never wear, and it was actually bagged up and ready to go to the Goodwill. And I thought, hey, let's give that a second life. It'll be softer than felt too. Win-win. So I started by cutting big panels of the fabric, like basically anywhere this hoodie wasn't printed, I harvested the fabric. Then I would layer 2 panels together and start cutting the leaf shapes. Now I needed to glue them together with the inside surfaces facing out. We're gonna flip them around later. Not gonna lie, I became a bit of a hot fabric glue addict with this project. Like it would have taken me ages to hand sew each of these leaves. But with the hot glue, it's quick, it's easy, very efficient. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Now to turn them inside out, never underestimate how much a chopstick can help with that end bit. Kind of looks like a wand too. Avada Kedavra! But yeah, we have leaves. Woo! Now to repeat the process like 20 times. Of course, I had to give them a little extra something though. So I painted a bit of highlights and then added some veining to each leaf. And hey, gotta add some dirt spots as well. And here they are. Funny enough, this fabric paint has a little bit of shimmer to it. If you guys had forgotten, part of my challenge is to incorporate glitter and sparkle. But don't worry, this is just a touch of what is to come. We've got this silver glitter puffy paint, and I'm gonna add some sparkly little dewdrops to the leaves. Ooh, ah. Okay, everything is dry. It is now time to attach the leaves to her head roots. a lovely bunch of head leaves. I want them to have that same blend that the body roots have, so I'm adding a little green fabric paint, kind of wisping from the leaves onto the pipe cleaners. Looking pretty good. Now I definitely wanted to use more glitter, so back to that glittery puffy paint. I'm gonna give our crying mandrake some sparkly tears running down her face. And if I am correct, I do believe the potions that are made from mandrakes are made from the roots. So I thought I could add the glitter paint to the very ends of the roots too, give them a little sparkle, like that's where the magic is coming from. And for our last little sparkly detail, I have to, of course, create a little vial of the mandrake potion. I didn't want to fill it with actual glittery liquid because I could already foresee Phoebe dumping it out the first chance she could get. So I started by trying to paint the inside of the vial with the glitter paint. But that was just not having that boom glitter impact that I wanted, so I'm gonna actually just use it as a glue and fill the thing with real glitter. And so begins the glitter mess. Yeah, Di knew what she was doing. She knew she was condemning me to glitter all over my desk, my hands, just everywhere. I do want to make a little label for my potion, the Mandrake Restorative Drought. So I just drew this up on some sticker paper. Now I can attach the label to the vial, and then I need to attach the vial to Marlo. I just used a little bit of twine to do that. And with that, we are finished. Mandrake Marlo. I just love how she came out. From her potion to her roots, the leaves, honestly, even that face came together in a way that I love. I mean, we went from this adorableness to this monstrosity. Like, Marlo is officially unrecognizable in the best way.
Although Phoebe hates her now. So hopefully you guys like her, because we have crushed my daughter's dreams. I don't know that I love her, but I had a ton of fun making her. I would absolutely do something like this again. We will find a place for her on the shelf. But for now, right there. Well, I bet you're curious to find out who is next in this little series of mystery plush makeovers. It's our very own Rosary Quinn Crafts. So as the chain continues, I, of course, got to give her her challenge. If you wanted a little hint there. So keep an eye out. Be sure to catch her video next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.